Good morning, students. So, in the last class, we were discussing about primary market and various types of issue, that is under initial public offering, further public offering, public issue, rights issue, and private placement. Fine. So, these things we have discussed in earlier class. Now, we are going to discuss what are the functions or services provided by primary market or the functions of primary market. So primary market is the market where company issues shares to general public first time in its entire life, in the entire lifetime of a company, for the purpose of raising capital. Everything lies around, everything roams around the capital formation, that is the raising of capital. Even you discuss about debenture, that is for capital raising. Even if you discuss about primary market, that is also for raising of required capital by any organization. Now, what are all the services this primary market provides? And services provided to the organization as well as service provided to the general public. Fine. So this the first function is the transfer function. Transfer function of a financial market or primary market is to transfer this surplus fund which lies with the general public. So this is the public or an individual who is having surplus fund to the organization or any company. So this company needs fund. So this organization required fund for its purposeful business. So this organization intends to raise capital and this general public or an individual, Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D, Mr. E, Mr. F, these are all the general public, those people who are having surplus money with them, who intends to invest their surplus money in certain fruitful objective. So this is the place where they can park their surplus money. So this organization needs fund for its further business or business expansion, and these people having surplus fund with them. So this primary market, this is the primary market. This primary market provides the platform to transfer this surplus fund to those organizations which need fund for their business. So first of all, the primary function of the primary market is to transfer the surplus fund from an individual or from general public to the organization which requires fund to conduct its business. So first of all, the first function is transfer function. That means transferring of fund from an individual or fund from general public to the organization. So that is called transfer function. Then the second function is investigative services. Investigative services in the sense, if these individuals having surplus money, why do they invest in this organization? What are all the information they know about this company? This company called XYZ company. So these people only once they are aware with what all about everything about about this organization called XYZ, then only they can invest their money. Otherwise, why do they give such a huge amount to any organization? This primary market gives all the information related to XYZ company. Fine, that is called investigative service. These this primary market gives every information about this company to the general public. That is called investigative function. The primary market provides sufficient data for all the analysis. Analysis in the sense you call it as fundamental analysis, you call it as technical analysis. That means fundamental in the sense fundamental financial statements. Fundamental financial statements are profit and loss account, earlier previous year's balance sheet of the company. Then only after studying in detail about all these financial statements, if these individuals are going to invest their surplus money. If they are convinced, then only they park their money in the company called XYZ. So to analyze these data primary market provides whatever the information, whichever the data these individual requires, this primary market provides investigative platform. Then the next function is advisory and information services. Advisory and information services, this is pertaining to this organization. So if this organization needs to have fund, where do they go? One way is to raise capital by borrowing loan from a bank. If any organization intends to raise capital from general public, then how do they approach general public? It's very difficult by any organization go directly to general public and asking for money. That function primary market undertakes. So primary market gives advisory and information services. Advisory in the sense, if this company needs 100 rupees, then which one is 1 rupee each, rupee 1 each, or rupees 10 into 10 shares, or rupees 20 into 5 shares. So which are all the feasible to this organization? These things are decided by and these things are advised by primary market expertise. So under this function, advisory and information services, primary market provides such suggestions or such advices pertaining to raising of capital. So this function, advisory and information service, is related to the organization, and information service it is to the individuals. So whatever the information an individual needs before investing in the company, all the required informations are given by primary market. Then underwriting. Underwriting, say for example, what happens if a company intends to have or a company intends to raise 100 rupee capital? If general public subscribe only rupees 50, then what about remaining 50? Where do this company raise remaining 50 rupees of capital? If the entire 100 rupees subscribed by general public, then no issues. Company gets 100 rupees as it intends. So if it is partially subscribed, that is general public subscribes only 50 rupees, then what about remaining 50? This remaining 50 subscribed by any financial institution or those people who are called underwriters. So these people are called underwriters who promises to company that if the shares, the entire amount is not subscribed by general public, then these people, these institutions or these underwriters, say for example ICICI Bank, ICICI Bank promises to XYZ company that if XYZ company is unable to raise the entire intended capital, that is 100 rupees, the remaining capital we will subscribe. That this ICICI Bank is promising to the organization called XYZ. Then this ICICI Bank is called as underwriter, and these underwriting facility it is provided by again the primary market. So we study in detail about who are all underwriters, what do you mean by the process called underwriting in next few sessions. Fine. So before that, before concluding today's session, we have discussed the functions or services provided by primary market. One is transfer function, that is transferring of funds from surplus money holder to the organization which requires fund to conduct its business. And primary market provides all the information or the research facility, facilitate research to an individual investors, and it acts as an advisory body or information services. It provides all the information required whenever an investor requires information. Primary market provides those relevant information services. Then it facilitates underwriting. Underwriting, the underwriters are those persons who are agreed or who promise to underwrite or subscribe the unsubscribed shares by general public. So these are all the points you need to remember for SEM point of view.